If you give a glass of water to a comfortable suburbanite who has plenty of money and food, they might thank you, but they wouldn't really care all that much. Give that same glass of water to a man dying of thirst in the desert, and he'll look upon you like a god. If you gave $10 to a millionaire, he'd shrug and put it on the pile, maybe even tell you to keep it. Give $10 to a hungry homeless guy on the street, and he'll light up like it's his birthday. The point is that value is not an absolute. Value is relative. It depends upon our circumstances and our mindset. What you value and why is personal, entirely a construction of your own mind. And what you value in the behavior of others is similarly subjective. To someone with low self-esteem, an insult may cut them straight to the bone, and they would prefer that such behavior not be done. To someone with excellent self-esteem, insults may roll right off their back, just plain no big deal. These people have quite different moral values about insults. To someone with no hang-ups about sex, sleeping with someone before marriage is just not an issue. To someone raised in a restrictive religion, sex is disgusting and should only be done for procreation. Again, these values are relative, subjective. They depend upon the mindset of the individual. And this is a point I see many people struggling with. Many assume that because they feel strongly about something, or there are lots of people who agree on an issue, that it must be universal, objective, absolute. And they want this. They think it lends legitimacy to their position or opinions. Take killing, for example. Many would argue that killing is always wrong. But just what makes it wrong? Unless you value life, its loss has no real meaning. And we've already shown that values are relative. The idea that killing is wrong is a value judgment. It's a subjective notion. You cannot show that killing is a bad thing except as a matter of perspective. In fact, good and bad are relative measures in and of themselves. They're value judgments, and the only thing that gives things value is our opinion, our individual circumstances. Tastes, smells, music, all relative, all subject to individual opinion. And behavior, that too is subject to individual judgment. There is no universal standard. And it wouldn't matter if each and every thinking being in the universe agreed on what is and is not so, whether we're talking about taste in clothing or opinions on moral behavior. And it wouldn't matter if each and every thinking being in the universe agreed on what is and is not so, whether we're talking about taste in clothing or opinions on moral behavior. The fact of the matter is that even if every opinion everywhere ever agreed, it would still be subjective opinion. The only thing that makes something objective is if it is not a judgment call, if it is true whether there is a mind to think of it or not. In fact, if you really want the big print, easy reader version of this, just look at the roots of these words, object versus subject. I'm not saying that to be objective something must be an object, but that's pretty damn close. Objective and empirical are very nearly synonyms. By contrast, the root of subjective, subject, refers more to minds, to ideas, to people, in the who you are and how you think sense. If, by these definitions, you can't see how value is subjective and not objective, I can't help you. You're running on automatic instead of thinking. I can appreciate how being objective lends legitimacy to our values by not being based in opinion, but trying to seek objective status for something that isn't just to get that legitimacy is lying to yourself, not dealing in reality. And morality, along with other values, just doesn't qualify. Please, knock that crap off and look reality in the face. We'll all be better off for it. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. You might also enjoy my webcomic, The Adventures of Kinneara Baxter. You'll find a link in the info bar. Every time you rate, an angel loses its wings.